Nearly 7 months after the centre stripped Jammu and Kashmir of its special status and also bifurcated it into two union territories, the Supreme Court will today deliberate its verdict on whether to refer a batch of petitions challenging the abrogation of Article 370 to a larger 7-judge bench. A 5-judge constitution bench headed by Justice Ramana and also comprising of Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul, R. Subhash Reddy, B.R. Gavai and Surya Kant will deliver their verdict after reserving the order on January 23rd. The petitioners include People's Conference Chairman Sajjad Lone, CPIM leader Yusuf Tarigami, NC's Akbar Lone and Justice Hasnain Masoodi and IAS officer turned Neta Shah Faisal. The petitioners have argued that the abrogation of Article 370 by the Narendra Modi government was unconstitutional and that the people were bypassed. So a crucial order that will come in from the Supreme Court today. This is only with regards to whether of the petitions or any sort of ruling on whether Article 370 is constitutional or unconstitutional. What the Supreme Court will be discussing is whether this particular petition challenging the abrogation of Article 370 should be referred to a larger 7-judge bench. At this point, it's a 5-judge constitution bench that's hearing the matter. If the Supreme Court gives its nod, it will mean that the hearing will begin afresh, but in front of a larger bench. This will be a 7-judge bench. So today we're expecting a decision on that front. Remember, there have been a series of hearings that have been happening on this issue, with several petitions saying that the move by the government was unconstitutional. Anisha Mathur is joining us live with more details on the story. Anisha, good morning. It'll be interesting to see what the Supreme Court has to say. Has there been any petitioner who's really demanded that this particular case be heard by a larger bench?
Well, this is because a group of petitioners, including the West Pakistan Refugees Association, which has earlier challenged the Article 370 and Article 335A, as well as some of the other interveners, which had raised the question of whether a 5-judge bench should hear the question of Article 370 abrogation or not. We remember we had about 4 days of continuous arguments in January before the 5-judge bench, where senior advocates, including Dinesh Zavedi, have argued that because there is a 1950 judgment and a 1979 judgment, both of which have given contradictory views about the permanency of Article 370 and its relationship with the Constitution of India. That is why they wanted that a larger bench must hear the matter. Also, with regard to the main Article 370 matter, preliminary arguments were made by senior advocates, including Raju Ramachandran and Rajiv Dhawan, who took the court through the entire history of the accession instrument of Jammu Kashmir and other agreements to look into whether the accession agreement that was entered into by the Maharaja of Kashmir was in any way legally different from the agreements entered into by the other princely states. So all of these preliminary arguments were heard by the 5-judge bench, and today at around 10:30 we'll find out if the court is going to hear this matter. If this bench is going to hear the matter, or will the matter go before a 7-judge bench?
Okay, Anisha, request you to stay on with us, because in the Supreme Court today, there's another matter, an important matter that's also coming up with regards to Jammu and Kashmir. This is a petition that's been filed by Sarah Abdullah pilot against former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister, her brother Omar Abdullah's detention under the Public Safety Act. The petition that's been filed by Sarah Abdullah challenges the detention of Omar Abdullah under the Public Safety Act. On 10th February, Sarah had in fact approached the Supreme Court challenging her brother's detention, saying that the order of detention is illegal. The Pleas sought quashing of the February 5th order detaining Omar Abdullah under the PSA and also sought his production before the court. Remember, former chief ministers of Jammu and Kashmir, including Omar Abdullah, Farooq Abdullah as well as Mehbooba Mufti, they've been under house arrest since 5th August 2019. Taking this once again across to Anisha Mathur. Anisha, it'll be interesting to see what the Supreme Court has to say. Can the court actually direct the government in this kind of a circumstance to revoke their order, especially considering it's under the Public Safety Act?
Well, see, this is what is going to be very, very important to see how exactly the government is going to justify the detention. Remember, Sarah Abdullah's petition very clearly has argued that Omar has already been under detention under the CRPC for 6 months, and there was no grounds to further extend his detention, particularly under the Public Safety Act, because for the last 6 months he has done no act and made no statement that could be considered detrimental to public safety and law and order. What is also also going to be important to see is, remember the Supreme Court just a few weeks ago had passed very clear orders that all orders of detention, all reasoned order must be reasoned, all reasoning for detention must be given, and the orders must be made public so that to allow people to question them, to allow courts to review them. Now, what has been happening, according to the petitioners, is in the Mehbooba Mufti detention case, the petitioners just last week told the Supreme Court that the Jammu Kashmir High Court has declined to go into the question of the personal satisfaction of the administration into whether the detention is correct or not, and that is why the in Mehbooba Mufti's case, the argument was made that the case has come directly to the Supreme Court because under the PSA, it is the satisfaction of the detaining authority that has to be looked into, and whether reasoned order was given or not. Omar Abdullah's says that there was no reasoned order. This was merely a rubber stamp. Now, it will be very interesting to see what the government and the administration are going to tell the court. Back to you.
Anisha, for the moment, thank you very much for joining us. Two important cases that come up in the Supreme Court today, and we'll see how things really pan out in the top court. Away from the courts to Parliament, where the budget session will resume today. It's expected to be fiery. The opposition is all set to corner the government on a slew of issues. The Congress party will raise the issue of Delhi communal rights and is expected to seek the resignation of Home Minister Amit Shah over alleged police lapses. Apart from the riots in Delhi, the opposition parties have also geared up to take on the government over the citizenship law protest across the country and the economic slowdown. The government, on its part, is also prepared to counter the opposition onslaught with facts and figures and the alleged role of its rivals in the ongoing situation in the capital.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.